Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse.
Ho, ho, ho. Welcome to day 2 of our 12 days of Christmas. Joining me today, Shawn. Hi, Shawn.
I mean, I'll take this. Hi.
Hi, how you doing? Also joining us today, Zachary. Hi, Zachary.
Why do you sound like an elf and a clown, like morphed into one right now? You know what? That's fine. It's fine. Hi.
Or an elf on helium.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, you see, we've watched a Hallmark movie, and when I've been filled with so much Christmas joy, I turn into this. I turn into Elf Alby. Hello.
Yeah, you do the same thing that the actress does, where she gets real high with her voice.
Hello.
Yes. I don't know what to even... Where do we start?
So
Who wants to start this with the day 2 of the Hallmark movies? We should probably tell everybody what the name of the movie is, in case they want to go look it up for whatever reason.
Homegrown Christmas.
Yes, it's called Homegrown Christmas, and it's about 2 people who want to grow a meth lab and then marijuana in their very small town because they've gotten sick of their... No, it's not about that. But...
Would you like me to read the summary?
Please.
After stepping down as CEO of her dream job, Maddie, played by Lori Loughlin, heads home for the holidays.
It's Lori Loughlin. I want to just make sure
Lori
we get the name
Loughlin
right.
heads home for the holidays to gain perspective. She finds herself running into her old high school sweetheart, Carter, played by Victor Webster, and tensions quickly arise. When forced to put together a Christmas dance for the local high school, Carter and Maddie find themselves putting their differences aside and rediscover what made them fall in love all those years ago.
All right, so you've got the summary out of the way. Who wants to start here? Which one of you guys would like to go first here with how great this movie is? And
this is the same movie.
Okay.
Again.
I'm glad
the same movie. We watched it again. I think we made a mistake. I'm pretty confident that we watched the same movie again.
Sounds like Shawn wants to say something. Go ahead.
So I picked this movie because, one, I want to at least make sure we get 2 Hallmark movies right in a row. Also, I thought having a movie with probably one of the more prominent actresses in one of these movies, and it will be good.
Yes.
And yes, when I read the synopsis, these 2, the first one and this one, seems very similar. It turns out they were very similar.
But I will hot take and say I think we all enjoyed this one much more than we enjoyed the first one.
Okay, don't speak for me. 1, 2, no. 2. I like to point out last episode we didn't talk about a very specific element of Hallmark movies, which not many people noticed. I didn't notice this until just now. Hallmark has 2 TV channels, apparently. One's Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and one's is Hallmark. So, the first episode was a Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, their second TV channel movie, and this one we watched was a mainstay Hallmark movie, which is called Countdown to Christmas. So, carry on now, Alby. Why did you like this more than the first one?
I think the actors are better. I think all the actors are much, much better.
I agree.
I think they pace it a little better, so you're not stuck in a car driving across the hills of some blasted place in Pennsylvania for like 15 minutes. I think generally there's some more interesting plot stuff. It's a little older, a little more mature theme-wise. It's not like a young professional. It's like an older lady coming back and having some second thoughts. I think that's somewhat of a unique plot. You don't actually see that too often. So overall, I think it's pretty enjoyable in that way of being a little bit, just a little better. It's like a 7. If the other one was a 6, this one's a 7.
Do you have any opinions, Zach, or can I get into why I thought the first movie was better than this one?
No, go ahead. I'll get into my issues with this, but please go ahead.
So the thing with the first movie, Christmas Wonderland, is it felt very amateurish in production wise, where all the actors and actresses felt kind of bad, and overall the pacing, what you said, was kind of wonky. I don't know. With the Homegrown Christmas movie we're currently talking about, I don't. What the fuck even happened in that movie? It literally nothing happened. Literally nothing happened plot wise. You can sum it up in one sentence. Where at least in the first movie, I felt like they actually kind of had character progression, like a character arc. Where on this, everything just gets resolved in within a 2 minutes, and that movie went by so fast. I'm not kidding. It's like nothing. I don't know. It's like I felt like an hour of my life just went by in a second.
I think that's fair. I do feel somewhat similar to that.
Like when you're talking about last time, like people like Hallmark movies because like it's comfort food. It's very comfort. It's like I just understand why now because like this felt very comfort for. Because nothing happens.
Comfortable. Nothing really bad happened.
Literally nothing happens.
The girl gets into design school. They throw the party. They eat some cookies. They kind of walk around. They rekindle a romance, and that was it. And I don't think that's necessarily bad. I just feel like, for me, as a more seasoned Hallmark watcher, I'm in it for performances more than anything else.
Sure.
I think I largely forgive the plot and some of that stuff. So
yeah, you're watching with an analytical mindset of you're an expert at Hallmark movies, so you would know.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know you guys probably, you're all about the plot, but for me,
no,
I like the actor and actress much more. So
okay, well, I'm glad. I don't want to step on Shawn if he's got any more stuff to say here, but
no, please go ahead.
All right, so I know we all had a laugh, whatever, at the first movie because it's like, all right, this is kind of just a silly, aimless movie with Emily Osment in it, who was on the Disney Channel years ago, and she's doing this because she probably needs a paycheck because, let's be honest, her backlog recently not really full. She's not doing a ton. So this movie, I forgot the name of it immediately after we got done watching it. That's how much of a mark it left on me. Homegrown Christmas is basically Christmas Wonderland, but they just took out parts of it, took out the characters from the last movie and just replaced them with somebody that's a little bit older. This handsome 40-year-old guy that's never been a father but is ready to be a father. And they just really aged everything up by 10 or 12 years. It's literally there's a shot for shot just remake of things. The barn they used from Christmas Wonderland, pretty much the same barn. I'm 100% sure it's the same barn. The same Nutcracker staring at me in the background. We've got another shot near the end where they're walking down the town center. On the sidewalk where the guy actually walks over to the lady's mother, and then she's also carrying the same exact thing that Emily Osment from the last movie last night was carrying, and then they walk. This time they didn't walk past the car, but it's essentially the same shot. And it just feels like the house, even at parts of it, just look like the same house. And I don't know what Hallmark's revenue is or how much their profit margins are. I'm assuming they're doing okay. So I feel like you could maybe get different sets a little bit, or maybe we just happen to watch two of the same movie out of the 38 that they have this year. That's a real number. Maybe we just happen to watch two of the same movie, and the other movies are not nearly as identical as these two are, and we just so happen again to just get the two that were shot in bulk, they probably shot these in bulk, and they're all right, we're just gonna, all right, Christmas Wonderland, we're gonna shoot this today. All right, guys, take 5. We're gonna shoot the other movie after at 4:00, whatever, and then they're just gonna reuse the set because they're well, we can't pay for another set, so here we are. This movie, it felt like the first 30 minutes went by pretty quickly, and then the back half, I fell asleep and fell into a coma at one point because I wasn't paying attention to anything because there is no conflict. There's no fucking conflict in this movie. It's nothing. It's just this woman who is oh, I'm a CEO. And guess what? The same tropes apply to this movie like the last one. She was from New York. Emily Osment's character last night from New York. She's working at this woman in this movie, Homegrown Christmas, CEO. Emily Osment's character, not a CEO, but she was not happy with her job. This person in this one, Lori Loughlin, is I'm a CEO, but I'm done. All right, I'm going to step down now. So then she goes back to the same small town. Emily Osment went back to the same small town. So and then she meets her high school crush. Emily Osment also met her high school crush, and it's just the same. It's the same movie. There's a prom that takes place with kids that happened in the other movie too. The same shots were used in certain things. I like the other one better. I don't know. That's just me. This doesn't have enough conflict resolution for me to even as a movie. Just as a movie. It's just this lady going oh, I'm going to go back and see my family for Christmas. I have a good job. All right, I'm going to step down now and I'm going to go see my family. And oh no, 20 years ago, whatever, my high school crush and I broke up and it didn't work out. And there's no motivating conflict for any of it. It's just hey, we need to get her from this big city to this small city because this is a Hallmark movie. How do you guys want to write this? And they're well, she's going to step down at her job and then it's Christmas, so she's going to go be with her family, I guess. And then we're going to write in the boyfriend and it's just... am I crazy? There's no conflict. Like, nothing in this movie is like it doesn't maintain my interest because it's not
I guess it depends on what you define as conflict, right? Like a romance movie has conflict in that
it's so
the
flimsy.
conflict is between two people. Like, I don't know. Give me an example of a romance with a lot of conflict. You know, it's not, you're looking at the conflict, and I think from a different perspective than what they're intending you to look at it from. The conflict is supposed to be will they, won't they, right? That's like always the thing.
Yeah, but there's like no motivating factor for them to get to the will they, won't they. Like, she was literally just working at her dream job, and it was just like, hey, I guess I'm going to step down. Hey, I don't have to get up early anymore. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I'm going to go back and be with my family. And oh no, the conflict is now, will they, won't they? And it's like, I know this is a Hallmark movie, but like, can we have some more impetus to get to that point before we get to the will they, won't they? Like, just a little bit more?
I don't know if I agree with your perspective on that one. I feel like that's pretty decent conflict. Like, she leaves her job, she goes back home. Like, I don't know what.
But why did she leave her job? Like, because she didn't like it?
That's a good point. Actually, I had not considered. They didn't really ever talk about why she was leaving her job.
That's my main issue. My whole hang up with this is that she was working as the CEO, and then it's like a 5-minute to 10-minute scene of just like a couple of scenes where she's just like, okay, I guess I'm done here. And then it shows her waking up the next morning going like, I can stay in bed if I want to. And then she just goes back to her small-ass town where she wants to be with her old high school boyfriend. And then that's where we get to the will they, won't they. I just don't understand how we got from big city to small city. At least last night's movie was like, there was a little bit more coherence with it, where she's like, she likes art and she's working as an art curator. Side note, I don't know what an art curator does. I was afraid to ask, but I don't know what they do. So they
curate art.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I thought.
Thank you.
And so like we got from that to, okay, she's really good at painting. She's got an artistic flair. And then we got back to the, Pleasant Valley where she got to meet everybody and then like fall in love again. This one's just more of like, hey, we just need a vehicle for you to get back to the small city because you hate living in the big city. Like, it felt really disjointed to me. That's my main hang up. Like, I know the will they, won't they thing is the staple of a Hallmark movie. I'm not hitting it with that. I'm not upset with that. I just think how we got there is a little really disjointed. I don't know how they wanted to write it, but they never really explained that. And then there was some dude in a cast the entire time. Nobody explained that either. Unless I missed it. I don't know what happened there. Just a lot of
He was
weird.
the husband of the sister of the character.
Yeah, and I lost.
So what you're saying is you wanted more Hallmark movie. Is that what you're saying?
No.
You'd like another half an hour and explain a little bit more?
Please, no. I can't deal with another half hour.
Okay, you want a little bit more. Well, I have good news for you. We got a lot more of these. So.
Great.
Like, I'm probably in between you guys. Like, I understand, Alby's point where you can't obviously have real conflict or which is drama because it's a fucking G-rated Hallmark movie. You can't have like somebody dying or like, oh, we're in crippling debt. Obviously, things have to go well, and nobody can be in serious like date. But also, it's more like the only conflict is the romance, really, and that's like not good because you need something else. Because obviously they're going to get together, so there's literally no tension whatsoever throughout the movie. So you need at least something else in there, and there's literally nothing else other than the romance.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And Wendy Williams wanting shoes.
Oh, can we talk about Wendy Williams for a second, please? Wendy Williams was in this for a grand total of maybe 45 seconds, and. Yes. She was, I guess, like a shoe line or something. Like, they were working on a shoe line with the main character that Lori Loughlin was playing. Maddie was like, we're working on this shoe line thing. And then, so they have Maddie call Wendy Williams. And yes, it's the Wendy Williams that you're thinking of. It's not like some white person named Wendy Williams. It's actual honest-to-God Wendy Williams who has a daytime talk show and is well-known and, whatever. So they cut to her, and it looks like when they cut from Maddie, the Lifetime production team sort of went on break for the Wendy Williams part and was just like, You guys got this, right? You guys are interns. You know how to run cameras and do audio. So they show Wendy Williams in like what looks like a trailer of sorts, like might have been the one that she was in while she was doing this film. And just sort of like talking on the phone. It honestly looks like you could have just ripped it from a YouTube video and like kind of had like like just her voice over that part. It just looked really weird in conjunction with the Lifetime production. I don't know what they did, but even Alby was like, this looks weird. Like, I thought I was the only one where I was looking at it going like, this seems like not, like it didn't fit the specifications of whatever they were shooting in, like the dimensions or whatever. And it's not like it was noticeable, but it just seemed like it was sort of pixelated. Like some parts are like
pretty
really
noticeable.
Yeah,
it was very grainy.
Yeah, there's weird,
low res, and like it was noticeable.
And
And
it was
that's
just-
from a man who streams trash all the time.
It's
and
true.
Can't tell the difference in resolution really. So if I notice it, something's going on.
It's true. Our good friend Alby over here streams on Twitch, mostly on Thursdays. But he streams on Twitch in like 478p, which is like I didn't know that was a real thing, or like 422p. So like he knows trash. Like he knows trash, guys. And he even was like, "Oh, that looks bad." And yeah, it was just weird. Like I don't know what happened there. It looked like they just took a chunk of something, and like in the edit, they didn't do whatever they needed to do to make sure that it looked concurrent to whatever they had shot before. It was super weird. Also, want to point out, in this movie, as I did last night, we had one black male with a speaking role who was at this prom, who was like DJing it a little bit, getting up there on the stage going like...
I believe he was the principal?
Yes, he was the principal. So we had one black male, and there was like 3 or 4 black males and females in the background. So we had a significant jump from last night's... we're looking out for anybody who isn't white in these movies. That's an ongoing thing that I'm going to be doing. So good on Hallmark for them doing that. I appreciate it. I can't wait until we get the Hallmark Kwanzaa movies here in the next 5 years.
Very exciting. I'm more confident in them doing those Hanukkah movies than ever before. So,
and I will say, I will be adding in like prominent main character of colored people to the mix. So
sure,
that is not going to exactly work out to your bit you're doing, but still not a lot of white people. Not a lot of non-white people in this movie. You're right.
Nope. Turns out this is definitely aimed at a demographic. This movie and Christmas in Wonderland. Sorry, not Christmas in Wonderland. That's probably another one that they're working on for 2019. Definitely aimed at like rich, older white ladies.
So to be fair, I think there was like 3 speaking rules in the entire movie that wasn't a part of this one family. So
yeah, that's true.
Also.
Yeah, that's true too.
So again, I like the first movie more because it was worse. And I'd rather watch a worse movie that's more fun to watch than like a middling movie. This was like I guess this was a competent movie. It was fucking boring to watch. At least it wasn't fast. The pacing was good because it was fucking fast. It blew by. The first movie was like a fucking car in a swamp that's hailing. It was fucking bumpy as shit, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It got there. I also want to point out, I forgot to mention that the other trope was hit here again for the second night in a row of the person going back and being with their family doesn't know how to cook cookies. It's not that hard. Like I'm not a baker. I can probably make some cookies.
At the very least, just get some Betty Crocker.
Yeah, it's not difficult. Like it was literally a shot-for-shot remake of the last night's movie that we watched, but with just a different cast. It felt like it.
Oh, they use salt instead of sugar.
Yeah, I will say Victor Webster, the guy that plays like the high school crush, he seems. I liked him. He was a bit of a creep in some situations, but he was all right for the most part. I don't know.
He's a good actor. He's been in some TV shows I've watched, like real TV shows. He's very good.
Yeah, it seemed okay. He seemed like he did okay.
So has Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, she's and then there's like I guess the subplot is also this like 15-year-old girl, since Maddie is like working or worked as a CEO is like this fashion place or whatever. This 15-year-old girl is like, "Oh, by the way, I have fashion ambitions." So like she gets finally at the end, she it goes like will they won't they of not in that sort of context of like dating, but like will she or will she not end up getting into this fashion place? And then it's a Lifetime movie, so of course at the end they're like, "Oh my God, you got in, but Maddie gave you a high recommendation." And then I don't know who that other woman was in conjunction to her was though. That was like, "You shouldn't go after your goals. We had everything planned out for you." Like she wasn't the mom, was she?
She was. It was the mom, and her job was as an air hostess, so she was away all the time at work.
Also, yeah, flight. Another flight got canceled in this movie. That also happened last night too, where that lady came up to the main character last night and was like, "Oh no, everything got canceled. The flights are all messed up." And then it happened again tonight too, where they're like, "Yeah, my flight got canceled." What are the tropes? Like, what is this? Somebody is just like, I know the writers are probably pretty like close to the same. Well, I don't know. Would they be the same? I don't know how any of that works. But it's like you're lifting the same ideas and the same premises from other things. I'm so confused. How would that happen? And we didn't even get resolution last night to why the flights were grounded either, or why it took 7 days for them to come. Whatever. I'm thinking about it too much. It's too much.
Computers are down. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It was okay. This movie, it dragged on for like the last 30 minutes for me. The first like 30 went by pretty quickly. Another thing that happened in this movie that happened last night as well was somebody showing up at somebody's house without telling them at like 9 o'clock at night. That's cool. I hope these Lifetime movies get better. That's all. I mean,
will say,
Hallmark. I keep confusing Hallmark and Lifetime. They might as well be the same thing in my head. I don't know why.
Spoilers, but I think Lifetime, again, like I said, they're a little bit more edgier, so it'll be more fun to watch.
Can't wait.
Maybe
Can't wait.
I don't know. We'll see.
I hope so.
I will say I generally kind of liked the romance during the dance. Like his sort of like not wanting to commit and his insecurities. I thought that was kind of genuinely interesting.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, I like the guy, main character. I actually liked him quite a bit.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, they were all right.
There's good parts about this movie for sure. Probably the worst character again, the mom, her creepy mom, who's literally only 9 years older than her daughter in real life.
The casting was weird on that. Yeah, for me that was kind of weird.
That's fine. I looked it up. Yeah, it's only 9 years. And
9 years.
The mom was really creepy.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it was weird because like we were all like, wait, the mom is only probably like 5 or 10 years older than her daughter. That's weird.
Her main role was in a Star Trek show.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know if
great.
I don't know if have we anything else that we would all like to say about Homegrown Christmas?
The only thing I would like to say is let's keep our eyes open for that Nutcracker going forward. Let's just keep our eyes open.
That Nutcracker, real good. Like, just there was one shot where they linger, like it was in front of the barn where the Nutcracker was staring at us, and it was like a wide shot, like a medium wide shot. And like I think Shawn mentioned, like, why did they show this shot? Like, it was just sort of weird because it was like the Nutcracker was over here on the left side, and then they were just sort of sitting on this thing outside the barn, and the Nutcracker was just like staring into my soul. I know I should have been looking at the right side, but I could not take my eyes off that Nutcracker. That was just staring directly into the depths of my soul, and every time that Nutcracker shows up in the background, it's just he's stealing my soul every time he does. I think it was the same one from last night too. It had to be. It had to be the same one. They cannot afford more than like 2 of those things.
All right. Well, I think that does it, guys. I think that's everything we can say about Homegrown Christmas. What's our next move?
Are you sure you don't want to bring out 2 more minutes out of?
No, we can do 2 more minutes of just trying to get like what is the synopsis for the next movie that we will be watching. I don't know if it's.
Yeah,
I'm anticipating it. I'm anticipating it.
I'll link to. Can you read it, Mr. Alby? The synopsis.
The Christmas Pact.
This will be our first Lifetime movie.
Oh, all right.
We're switching off of Hallmark already.
Would you like me to read it, or do you want to read it?
Okay, I'm going to read it. Here we go.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Can best friends fall in love? That's the question next door neighbor Sadie, and Ben will answer as they keep the spirit of Christmas and the magic of their childhood pact alive. When they were 8 years old, they planted a scrawny 3-foot-tall Christmas tree behind their church, and the Christmas pact began. But as life gets in the way, the pact is threatened to be broken. Ben and Sadie need some Christmas magic to recommit to each other and promise to keep their special holiday traditions with each Christmas that passes by. Ben and Sadie's Christmas tree grows taller and stronger, and so does their love. The pact bearing fruit to the magic of Christmas and the undeniable answer: yes, friends can fall in love.
Spoilers.
That sounds like. Oh, that sounds bad. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can.
Rated 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. We didn't mention it, but this Homegrown Christmas was rated 6.3 out of 10. I believe last night's was just a 6.2 or 6.1.
It was 6.3.
Oh, was it? Okay, so they were the same. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's about right because they were the
Hallmark
same fucking
movies
movie.
hold the exact same number. That's the number. See if we can get above it.
Christmas Pact. Ugh.
And fun fact: the main characters are black, so that's fun.
Yeah, I was
That's
looking
fun.
at it. So it's more of a diverse
Multi-ethnic
field here.
cast.
Yeah,
Yes.
the cast is more diverse. So yeah, we are looking forward to that.
Are we? Why did we start this?
I don't
Why
know.
Why have we started this?
I don't
What are
know.
we gonna do?
That's it. That's
Does Popkins have any good movies planned in the shoot, or is he just gonna give us the worst?
I don't know.
I have a few that I'm very anticipating actually.
He's got to space it out, so we got to get through the shit in order to get to the good stuff. Like, you know. that's
Yeah,
how
we
it
gotta
works.
open our presents on Christmas. Right now, we're getting our whole. All right, we will see you tomorrow, everybody.
The bird machine. Check.